yesterday filed a lawsuit against Preston Poulter for malicious uh, copyright infringement. We decided to do this. We found many instances of actual trademark infringement, and we've decided to jump ahead and take a look at that. Let me show you what we filed. This went in yesterday. Okay, let's take a look at the filing. Here we go. This is an action for malicious use of process, trademark counterfeiting, trademark infringement, and false designation of origin. This is important. Factual background. This is what happened. This is why we are where we are right now. Defendant counterclaim plaintiff Ethan Van Sciver. So this is a part of the lawsuit that he's filed against me. But we are counterclaiming and we are suing him. This whole thing that Preston Poulter has launched against me has been a scam from the very start. And it's ridiculous. It's insulting. He tried to steal my trademark, which is Comicsgate. I've used it in commerce now since 2018. And the idea that you could just go in there and steal somebody's trademark is outrageous. And we're suing him for it. I'm sick of this. This isn't right. I'm the sole owner of the trademark Comicsgate. He owns U.S. registration number 6102744 for the mark used on comic books. And he owns the right under 15 U.S.C. 1125, the so-called common law trademark, to exclusive use of the mark in connection with services such as crowdfunding of independent comic book projects. Plaintiff counterclaim defendant Preston Poulter, in the name of his company Common Sense Press, applied for 2 trademark applications for the mark of Comicsgate. Poulter knew, and you guys know this to be true, Poulter knew that the mark Comicsgate was used in commerce by others in the comic book industry before Poulter filed his 2 trademark applications. He knew that. Of course he did. He left behind a ton of information. He left behind a ton of proof that he knew what he was doing. He actually said it. Number 6, specifically, Poulter knew defendant counterclaim plaintiff Van Sciver used the mark Comicsgate in commerce, for example, by hosting the internet YouTube live stream broadcast to promote crowdfunding of certain comic book creators, independent comic book creators. Van Sciver refused to allow Poulter to appear on Van Sciver's live stream, after which Poulter felt animus towards Van Sciver. He felt animus towards me. Why? As a result of this animus, Poulter began a series of YouTube live streams and made statements in social media in which he criticized the Comicsgate group of independent comic book creators and Van Sciver. Poulter has stated, quote, "I am working for the destruction of #Comicsgate," quote unquote. Poulter has stated on social media, quote, "I've been quite vocal in my opinions about Comicsgate as the hate group." Why would you want to own the trademark of a hate group? Or something that you felt was a hate group? Poulter has commented on social media about, quote, "Ethan Van Sciver is the sociopathic leader of a hate movement and the horrible people who follow him." That's you guys. Horrible. Poulter's animus against Van Sciver greatly increased after a fan, shout out to Sheila Aliens, of the Comicsgate group discovered and drew attention to several pornographic videos featuring Poulter, which in a previous period of his life, Poulter had placed on the internet. I didn't ask him to do this. I didn't ask him to do that or put it on the internet. And I certainly didn't ask Sheila Aliens to find it. Sheila was just interested. I mean, this guy was out there making all this content about Comicsgate, criticizing what we do here. And, she, of course, this is who Sheila is. Sheila went out and did a little deep dive search on Preston and found out that, he did make pegging pornography many times. So that's weird. Poulter blamed Van Sciver personally. Blames me. Why does everybody blame me for everything? I didn't do it. Sheila did it. For uncovering the uncovering of these pornographic videos, and filed, this was the weirdest thing, I forgot about this, filed at least 1 police report attempting to have me arrested. He told all his friends that he was having me arrested. He had filed a police report. Can you imagine that police report? Can you imagine the telephone call to the police saying, you got to arrest this guy? He found out that I did pegging pornography, or one of his fans did, and then he laughed about it on the internet. Arrest him. He did. He actually filed a police report about this. And then he told everybody that the police did come to my door. They never did. The police never came to my door, but he lied as usual. He just lied. He told everybody that they did, and that was a lie. Claiming somehow the uncovering of Poulter's publicly. So he blamed me personally for uncovering these pornographic videos and filed at least one police report attempting to have Van Sciver arrested, claiming somehow the uncovering of Poulter's publicly available video meant Van Sciver had committed a crime. I didn't know that. I didn't know it was illegal to find. I didn't know it was illegal to have to respond to somebody else who finds your publicly available for sale pornography and laugh at it on the internet. I didn't know that was a crime. The police didn't know either. That's why they didn't come. They didn't come and arrest me. Poulter had produced comic books and other products under the mark Pocket Jacks using the logo shown below. This is his original logo. But after Sheila Aliens humiliated him utterly by revealing his cuck and pegging pornography to the internet, and she did, and it wasn't me, it was Sheila, and in any case, it was public. Anyone could find it. Nobody had to do any deep dive. Nobody had to invade anything. Nobody had to break into anybody's. It was on the internet. It's on the internet. It was under Pornhub. It was everywhere. After Sheila Aliens humiliated Preston Poulter, Poulter altered his logo to infringe on Van Sciver's Comicsgate trademark shown below. As you can see, it now says Comicsgate on this. Okay. Poulter announced that the federal government granted him ownership of the trademark Comicsgate. My lawyer, who was a trademark attorney, points out that Poulter knows that the federal government has not granted him ownership of the trademark Comicsgate. Has not done that. Poulter is now engaged in a massive program of unauthorized commercial use of Van Sciver's trademark, as illustrated by the following 15 infringing products, each of which use the unauthorized. I didn't say he could do this. Quite the contrary. This guy hates Comicsgate and everything it stands for. So I would never give him permission to use the Comicsgate logo on his products, ever. I would never, ever grant him license to use Comicsgate, ever. And yet he's done it anyway. Unauthorized Comicsgate logo from the paragraph above is shown on the following pages. Here we go. One weird comic book, another weird comic book, another weird comic book. All of them say Comicsgate on them. He's selling these on eBay. All of these comics that have my trademark on them. Every single one of these. Comicsgate. They all look the same. Why are they all green? Look at all these terrible. Oh my God, what the hell is this? How many? 15 of these? Oh, what is this? A man in a fucking G-string. Is that a man or a woman? Is that a... What is this? What is this? Palace of the Golden Princess. And I think that's a dude in a G-string there with a sword. What is this? All with my trademark on them. Poulter is using the mark Comicsgate in the following a manner identical to or confusingly similar to the uses authorized by Van Sciver. That is right. All down here. Poulter advertises, promotes, offers to sell, and sells the above products to the public on commercial sites, eBay and Kickstarter, and on information and belief through other commercial channels, such as comic book conventions. He's out there selling my trademark, portraying himself to be Comicsgate. And he's not. I didn't say he was. I did not allow him to use my trademark, Comicsgate, on his frankly awful comic books. I didn't say he could. And the reason why is because, A, he didn't ask me, and B, his comic books are not, and his belief system is not in line with what we all believe. It's not in line with Comicsgate. It's as simple as that. You just have to be Comicsgate. You have to be anti-SJW. You have to stand for, like, all of the things that Comicsgate stand for. We all know what they are. This guy does not. He certainly does not. He makes pegging pornography videos for the internet. And he seeks the destruction of Comicsgate. He seeks the destruction of Comicsgate. He said so. And he calls Comicsgate, what did he call him again? I got to go back and find out. But he called you guys some nasty things. Count 1, malicious use of process. The allegations in paragraph 3 through 25 are repeated as if set forth fully herein. This is his lawsuit was brought without probable cause. The bringing of the original action is actuated by malice. He admitted it. He admitted it in his stupid Discord server. He said, Ethan's fallen into my trap. Well, what's my trap? What's your trap? I put his trademark on some really skeevy comic books, and he's complained. Now I can sue him for defamation. The bringing of the original action is actuated by malice. The original action will terminate favorably to me, and I've suffered a special grievance, including emotional distress and money costs. This is coming out of my pockets. I have to pay for this lawsuit. This is me and Andrea out of pocket. We work hard. We sell comic books to you guys. We ship comic books to you guys. We don't want to be spending money defending ourselves from, like, frivolous lawsuits. We don't want to be doing that. It's stressful. It's expensive. It's ridiculous. Count 2, trademark counterfeiting. The count is for federal trademark counterfeiting under 15 U.S.C. 1114. The allegations in paragraph are repeated, blah, blah, blah. Plaintiff Poulter has used spurious designations that are identical with or substantially indistinguishable from Van Sciver's registered trademark on goods covered by registration for my registered trademark. Poulter has intentionally used these, we can prove it, spurious designations, knowing they are counterfeit, in connection with the promotion, sale, offering for sale, and distribution of goods. Poulter's use of Van Sciver's registered trademark to promote, offer for sale, distribute, and sell goods bearing counterfeits was and is without the consent of Van Sciver. I did not consent to this. This is non-consensual, unlike his pornography, which was consensual. Poulter's unauthorized use of Van Sciver's registered trademark on and in connection with the promotion, sale, offering for sale, and distribution of products constitutes Poulter's use of the registered trademark in commerce. Poulter's unauthorized use of Van Sciver's registered trademark as set forth is likely to A, cause confusion, mistake, and deception. People are going to see that filth and think it's associated with us. Cause the public to believe that Poulter's products are the same as Van Sciver's products, and or that Poulter's products are authorized, sponsored, or approved by Van Sciver, or that they are affiliated, connected, or associated with, or in some way related to Van Sciver, and C, result in Poulter unfairly benefiting from my advertising, which is what he wanted to do in the first place, isn't it? Isn't that what he wanted to do in the first place? Isn't that why there is this problem right here? He wanted to benefit from my advertising, and he wasn't able to. Profiting from the good reputation of Ethan Van Sciver and my registered trademark, all to the substantial and irreparable injury of the public. That's you guys, Van Sciver, anybody who buys his book, and Van Sciver registered trademark, and the substantial goodwill. That's you guys. You guys have goodwill towards Comicsgate, obviously. You love Comicsgate. If there was a book that said Comicsgate on it, you'd be more likely to pick it up and look at it because you're Comicsgate. That's the problem here. You'd go, oh, this must be something that Ethan Van Sciver thinks is okay. I don't think this is okay. This is fraud. Poulter's acts constitute willful trademark counterfeiting in violation of Section 32 of the Lanham Act, 15 U.S.C. 1114. By the reason foregoing, get ready for this. Poulter is liable to Van Sciver for statutory damages in the amount of $200,000 for each counterfeit mark per type of goods sold, offered for sale, or distributed. Or if the court finds that the use of the counterfeit mark was willful, and it was, Obviously, it is clear that it was willful. He knew what he was doing. He bragged about it all over the fucking internet, on Bleeding Cool, on that cuckold Forced Adversities channel. He knew what he was doing. He knew it. He admitted it. He talked about it. $200,000 for each counterfeit mark per type of goods sold, offered for sale as provided by 15 USC 1117 of the Lanham Act, or at Van Sciver's election at any time before final judgment is rendered by the court trial pursuant to 15 USC 1117, and unless the court finds extenuated circumstances, a mandatory award to Van Sciver of judgment for 3 times such profits or damages, whatever amount is greater, together with the reasonable attorney's fees, investigative fees, and prejudgment interest. This court, this is count 3, trademark infringement. This is worse than trademark violation. This count is for federal trademark infringement. Poulter's activities constitute Poulter's use in commerce of Van Sciver's registered trademark. Poulter uses Van Sciver's registered trademark in connection with Poulter's sale, offers of sale, distribution, promotion of Poulter's goods bearing infringements and or counterfeits of Van Sciver's registered trademark. Poulter has used Van Sciver's registered trademark knowing it is the exclusive property of Van Sciver in connection with Poulter's sale. We can prove all this. Preston left behind a slug trail of admissions, of plans. It's pretty easy to follow. It's pretty easy to understand. Distribution and promotion of Poulter's goods bearing counterfeits or infringements of Van Sciver's registered trademark. Poulter's activities create the false and misleading impression that Poulter is sanctioned, assigned, or authorized by me to use my registered trademark to advertise, manufacture, distribute, appraise, offer for sale, or sell goods bearing my registered trademark when Poulter is not so authorized. I didn't say yes to this. Poulter engages in the aforementioned activity with the intent he means to do this. Again, he said all of this. He said it in the Bleeding Cool article. He said it many times. His intent is to confuse and deceive the public into believing that he and the goods he sells are in some way sponsored, affiliated, or associated with Van Sciver, when in fact there's no business relationship between me and Preston Poulter. Of course not. Poulter's use of my registered trademark has been without my consent. It's likely to cause confusion, mistake the minds of the public, and in particular tends and does falsely create the impression that the goods promoted, distributed, and sold by Poulter are authorized, sponsored, warranted, approved by me, when in fact they're not. Poulter's unauthorized use of Van Sciver's registered trademark has resulted in Poulter unfairly benefiting from my advertising and promotion, because I talk about Comicsgate all day long, and he's got my trademark on his book. So people go, oh, is this something that is this Ethan's thing? No. It is not. It is not. Profiting from the reputation of Van Sciver's registered trademark to the substantial and irreparable injury of the public, because anybody who buys his comics thinking it's Comicsgate and it stands for what we stand for, that I approve of it, the quality that I insist upon, they are going to be injured by that. Poulter's acts constitute willful trademark infringement in violation of Section 32 of the Lanham Act. By reason of the foregoing, Poulter is liable to Van Sciver for the amount representing 3 times Van Sciver's damage and or Poulter's illicit profits, reasonable attorney's fees, investigative fees, and prejudgment interest. This count 3, false designation of origin. This is count for false designation of origin in violation of Van Sciver's trademark rights. Poulter's use in commerce, etc., not approved by me. In view of the acts described above, Poulter's use constitutes a false designation of origin, false or misleading description of fact, or a false or misleading representation of fact. Van Sciver believes he is or is likely to be damaged by Poulter's acts. Of course, that was the intention. And as a result, Poulter is liable to Van Sciver under 15 USC. There you go. It's infuriating. Prayer for relief. Wherefore, defendant counterclaim plaintiff Van Sciver requests the court order the following relief: that the court enter an injunction ordering the plaintiff Poulter, the defendant Poulter, in this case, his company and any persons in privity or acting in concert with them to be enjoined from A, using in reproduction, counterfeit, copy, or colorable imitation of Van Sciver's registered trademark to identify any goods, can't use it, or the rendering of any services not authorized by me. B, engaging in any course of conduct likely to cause confusion, deception, or mistake, or injure Van Sciver's business or reputation, or weaken the distinctive quality of Van Sciver's registered trademark, Van Sciver's name, reputation, or goodwill. C, using a false description or representation using words or other symbols tending to falsely describe or represent Poulter's unauthorized goods as being those of mine or sponsored by or associated with me, and from offering any such goods in commerce. D, further infringing on Van Sciver's registered trademark by manufacturing or producing, distributing, circulating, selling, marketing, or offering for sale, advertising, promoting, displaying, or otherwise disposing of any products not authorized by me, bearing any simulation, reproduction, counterfeit, copy, colorable imitation of my registered trademark. Using any simulation, reproduction, counterfeit, copy, or colorable imitation of my registered trademark in connection with the promotion, advertisement, display, sale, offering for sale, manufacture, production, circulation, or distribution of any unauthorized projects in such fashion as to relate or connect, or tend to relate or connect such products to in any way, to me, any goods sold, manufactured, sponsored, or approved by, or connected with me. Stop making statements or representation whatsoever using false designation of origin, false description, performing any act which can or is likely to lead the trade or public or individual members thereof to believe that any services provided, products manufactured, distributed, sold, or offered for sale, or rented by Poulter are in any way associated with or connected with me and my trademark. I did not approve, did not sponsor, did not license, did not manufacture, or authorize this. Or G, engaging in any conduct constituting an infringement of Van Sciver's registered trademark or Van Sciver's rights in, or to use, or to exploit said trademark, or constituting any weakening of Van Sciver's name, reputation, or goodwill. Secreting, destroying, altering, removing, or otherwise dealing with the unauthorized product which contain any information relating to the importing, manufacturing, producing, distributing, circulating, selling, marketing, offering for sale, advertising, promoting, or displaying of all unauthorized products which infringe on my trademark. Effecting assignments or transfers, forming new entities or associations, or utilizing any device for the purpose of circumventing or otherwise avoiding the prohibitions set forth in subparagraphs A through H. That Poulter, within 10 days of judgment, take all steps necessary to remove from all business owned, operated, or controlled by Poulter all texts or other media offering for sale any merchandise bearing the infringement or counterfeits of Van Sciver's registered trademark or mark substantially indistinguishable therefrom. That Poulter, within 30 days of judgment, file and serve Van Sciver with a sworn statement setting forth in detail the manner and form in which he has complied with this injunction pursuant to 15 U.S.C. 1116A. That Poulter be required to deliver up for destruction to Van Sciver all unauthorized materials bearing any of Van Sciver's registered trademark in association with unauthorized goods or services and the means for production of same pursuant to 15 U.S.C. 1118. Number 5, requiring Poulter to pay Van Sciver such damages Van Sciver has sustained. They're infinite damages as a consequence of Poulter's counterfeiting and infringement of Van Sciver's registered trademark. Every SJW in the world thinks that Poulter, because of his lies, because of his actions, he goes to these shows, they think he's associated with Comicsgate. He isn't. Comicsgate is mine. It's my trademark. This guy is not associated with my trademark, my registered trademark. To account for all gains, profits, and advantages derived by Poulter from the sale of his infringing merchandise bearing Van Sciver's registered trademark, and that the award to Van Sciver be trebled as provided for under 15 USC 1117. Alternatively, that Van Sciver be awarded statutory damages pursuant to 15 USC up to $2 million for each mark per type of goods sold or offered for sale that Poulter has willfully counterfeited and infringed. $2 million. Ordering that Van Sciver recover the cost of this action together with reasonable attorney's fees, prejudgment, and interest in accordance with 15 USC. Yeah, give me my money back for this. Ridiculous. Ordering that Van Sciver recover attorney's fees due to plaintiff's malicious use of prosecution, which we can prove it was. He bragged about it. This is all just a series of lies. This whole thing was a one big gay op. Directing that this court retain jurisdiction for this action for the purpose of enabling Van Sciver to apply to the court at any time for such further orders and interpretations or execution of any order entered in this action, for the modification of any such order, for the enforcement or compliance therewith, and for the punishment of any violations thereof. Ordering that pursuant to 11 USC, Poulter be prohibited from a discharge under 11 USC 727 for malicious, willful, and fraudulent injury to Van Sciver. Awarding to Van Sciver such other and further relief as the court may deem just and proper, together with the costs and disbursements that Van Sciver has incurred in connection with this action, which are significant, which are very significant. I want you to know. Ridiculous. There you go. There's my lawyer. One of my lawyers. There you go. There's another one of my lawyers. Beautiful. So that was filed today. And yeah. We're going after this dude. These people just try to bother me. They try to hurt me. They try to hurt you in respect to the same cause. Trying to destroy Comicsgate for what reason? For what reason? The more I think about it, the more I realize how important Comicsgate is, the more I realize how important it is that I protect the trademark. And I do that because otherwise, you've got bad actors here. It is political. They just want to destroy it. He just wants to destroy it. He wants to slime us. He wants to slime me. He's doing all of this intentionally and with malice. He brags about it. He talks about it. I don't know if he's drunk when he posts all this stuff, but like he posts all this stuff. It's all provable. It's not a matter of opinion. We can actually prove all of this with his own words. It's insane. It is absolutely insane.